All right, good evening. Welcome to the Saline County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Today, November 2nd, 2020. We'll begin with item 1, the consent agenda. Point A is approval of the agenda for November 2nd, 2020. Are there any changes or amendments to the agenda? Okay. A motion to approve?
I motion.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Do we approve the agenda as stated? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Item B, approval of the minutes for the July 6th, 2020 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes for the July 6, 2020 meeting as printed.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the July 6th, 2020 meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right. On to item 2, Saline County Comprehensive Plan Revision, amending Chapter 4, adding a new Section 9, and establishing the Fort Riley Unmanned Aircraft System Corridor Overlay Zone. I'll turn it over to staff to give us an overview.
All righty. Basically, we're looking at right now, this is a staff-initiated review and amendment to the Saline County Comprehensive Plan, currently enforced as adopted in 2008. Earlier this year, the Planning Commission directed staff to begin updating the plan. Due to the COVID-19 situation, this process, has been delayed until this quarter. State statute does encourage annual review of the plan with full revision approximately every 7 to 10 years. Our current plan is 12 years old. This revision will consist primarily of evaluating the status of goals and objectives outlined in Chapter 4, planning goals and land use and coordination policies. Miscellaneous items such as demographic information, statistical data, will be updated once the 2020 census is completed later in 2021 and can be incorporated into the plan. Because of the relative stability of the economic and demographic state of Saline County over the past few years, staff has determined the goals as outlined in our current plan are still valid, but wording and implementation strategies may need to be examined going forward. The timeline that we're looking at is approximately 9 to 12 months to complete the plan revision. This will include coordinating with incorporated areas of the county to address any changes they feel would be relevant. Input from additional stakeholders in areas such as housing and economic development, as well as Fort Riley, may also be considered. The following is the order in which staff will be presenting the sections in Chapter 4. Note that the time frame is given for consideration of individual sections, is not given technically for the consideration of individual sections due to the fluid nature of the update process. So the first item that will probably be, and this is what we'll be reviewing this evening, is consideration of a new Section 9 unmanned aircraft system corridor environs policies. Fort Riley, in conjunction with the North Central Regional Planning Commission, completed a study earlier this year, and a number of recommendations have come from this document relating to land use policies of several regional counties, including Saline. This includes language to be added to our comprehensive plan and as well as our zoning regulations. Due to the time frame that Fort Riley intends to implement this zone, this item will be the first to be considered, and I need to add a little caveat to that: they're already enforcing it. This is just I need to let them know when we get this adopted and make the language incorporated into the plan and make it legal. So after the next month, or the next item that we'll be discussing are the general land use policies in Section 1, the rural areas and floodplain policies in Section 2. Section 3 is large lot single-family residential land use policies. Section 4 is urban service areas, and that will involve the city of Salina. We're talking about any of the other incorporated communities in the county as well. Rural community policies, unincorporated areas of Bavaria, Bridgeport, Fallon, Glendale, Headville, Kip, Mentor, and Salemsburg. Section 6 is community growth areas, and that would involve communities of New Cambria, Brookville, Smolin, Assaria, and Gypsum. Section 7 are the airport environs, and Section 8 would be the Smoky Hill Weapons Range. And so with that, I wanted to ask, you all have any questions to this point as to that timeline and the sections that we'll be covering going
I
forward?
guess one question I do have, where you said this one, we want to make sure this is separate from the others, since this is a mandated one.
That's correct.
So is this, if everything is okay and we approve it tonight, that we would actually approve that as an amendment to the comprehensive plan, or how would that work?
Well, what I would do is I would include this as I would put together a resolution, and I would have you, the county approve the resolution, and take that resolution before the county, and they would approve it at that point.
Okay.
I would basically tell the county, that you all had, if you would approve it tonight, that resolution would go before them at the next available meeting, or when I can get everything put together.
Okay.
And but to jump right into it, the Fort Riley to Smoky Hill Unmanned Aircraft System Corridor Overlay. The following amendment to Chapter 4 of the Comprehensive Plan, proposing Section 9, which would be a new section, Fort Riley Unmanned Aircraft System UAS Corridor Overlay Environs Policies. The document titled Fort Riley to Smoky Hill Unmanned Aircraft System Corridor Study, completed in October of 2019, will establish a 4 nautical mile wide airspace corridor through a number of counties in north central Kansas. I've got that as attached as Exhibit 1 to kind of give you an idea of where this tracks. Saline County will be the least impacted by this corridor, with approximately 3,978.57 agricultural acres. This study makes several recommendations on policies designed to mitigate adverse impacts to the corridor and private property. Staff has based the language of this new Section 9 to reflect the recommendations for Saline County outlined in the study. I've got that for you as Exhibit 2. Please note that the attached Exhibit 3, depicting the specific area within Saline County affected by the corridor, will also be adopted with Section 9 and incorporated within all existing land use maps within the final plan document when that gets put together. The Section 9 will be worded as follows: Fort Riley Unmanned Aircraft System UAS Corridor Overlay Environs Policies. The following policies are intended to protect unmanned aircraft and personnel within the 4-mile UAS corridor by discouraging activities and uses within the adjacent to the corridor and would be that would be detrimental to normal operations. Policy UA.1, land use. Establish a zoning overlay district designation for the UAS corridor. Provisions should be considered for, but not limited to, renewable energy, vertical obstruction, and frequency encroachment. Policy UA.2, coordination, include Fort Riley in notification of any conditional use or zoning case, and any amendments within the UAS corridor. Seek comment and technical support from Fort Riley on any land use decisions in the area. Policy UA3, Under education, provide outreach to the public to inform property owners of the UAS corridor and what activities are allowed and prohibited. Policy UA4, communication, it would be to maintain a list of contacts at Fort Riley and other counties within the UAS corridor and maintain it on a regular basis. And that would conclude that particular section, that new section, and your options for this evening would be to, either approve the language as submitted for a new section 9, approve with further changes as deemed necessary by the commission, or table for further, consideration. In the event a motion for either option 1 or 2 is made, staff will prepare a resolution to include the changes and direct to the county commission. Any comments?
Okay. Any questions for staff?
Yeah. Tim, it talks about, and under UA policy UA.1, I assume that would include cell tower perhaps, or
Oh, yes.
or obviously wind chargers, that kind of thing.
Oh,
But
definitely.
any farming operation, that shouldn't be an issue, right?
That's not an
if
issue.
there's cattle grazing or something, then
No.
that's still allowable, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the anything permitted under as an agricultural use would still be allowed. Anything that would be a conditional use, I would have to coordinate
Right.
with
Okay.
with them. So, and I should also point out that I tried to keep the wording as close to the section 8 that we have on the Smoky Hill Weapons Range in our comp plan, and I tried to word it so that the language sounds similar to that, because they're real close. I mean, they're both basically the same thing. They almost overlap each other, the Smoky Hills Weapons Range and this corridor, and I wanted to make sure that the language reflected both what we already had in the Smoky Hill Weapons Range as well as this new section. So.
Any other questions from staff?
Oh, I just had another quick one. You say they're already enforcing this now,
Yes, sir.
as you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I called them, I actually called the North Central Regional Planning Commission because they're the ones, I think Mr. McKinney was here earlier this year and talked to the county commission about it, and he's no longer there, he retired, and so the individual that took his place said, I said, what's the timeline on getting this implemented? And he said, it's already going on, they're already doing their thing in this area. So
I got a quick question. On the policy UA3, it says provide outreach to the public and to inform property owners. If it's already being enforced, have the property owners in that corridor been informed already? Or have they not been?
My thought is that they have been. If it's been, if the Fort Riley probably has outreach to the individual counties, because they knew that they were probably going to be implementing this before many of the counties had it implemented in their plans, so they probably already have been in contact with the affected property owners.
So essentially, all property owners have given consent to this?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions for staff? All right, is there any public comment on this? All right. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the commission. Any discussion? If not, entertain a motion.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the language as submitted for new section 9 as recommended by staff.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve option number 1, approve the new language as submitted for a new subsection, or new section 9 to section 4, or chapter 4 of our comprehensive plan. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All right, motion carries.
And what I'll do is I will put together a resolution for the county commission, and once that gets adopted, then I will come back to you probably in the future and address the zoning aspect of it and get our zoning regulations updated to reflect that change as well.
And many of those are reflected in what they have in the Fort Riley text here, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Any other items for us tonight, Steph?
Under additional items, we've been trying to look for a potential alternate site that we can locate our meetings to, and we may be using the sheriff's meeting room, but we're in discussions right now at that point. Nothing's firm yet, I don't believe. Yeah. So, but that's one thing that we'll let you know, and we will keep you informed as to what the status of this particular venue is versus the sheriff's department. So we've run into some scheduling conflicts in the recent past with other agencies like the city wanting to, and going over with their meetings and kind of affecting, our schedule. So we wanted to try to be as, in the interest of due process, making sure that we have a location that's consistent and we will consistently have available to us without interruption. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
all right, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, meeting adjourned.